Yeah.
So I'm just reading from these empty pages, so it looks like I brought something. So as a comedian, I've been told I'm quite good at crowd work, so I'm just going to find some now. I'm not ready yet. That was good, wasn't it? Good bit of crowd work. Yeah. So I think I've got a normal-sized head. Would anybody here agree? Exactly. You know? Everybody agrees with that. But I graduated in 2017 from creative writing, and I had bought myself a graduation cap with the last bit of money that I hadn't drunk or smoked. And with that last bit of money, I paid about £60 to rent this hat. And I got there, and the lady looked at me and she said, "That's not going to work, I'm afraid." And I said, "What do you mean it's not going to work?" And she waddled over into a little room. It was about this big, the room. And there was lots of boxes. There was a box labelled small, medium, large, and extra large. And I said, "Yes, I bought one of the extra large ones." And she went, "That's not going to work, I'm afraid." I said, "No, look, I'll try it." And I tried it on, and it was like that, on top of my head. And she looked at me and she went, "Come over here into this other room." And we went into another darkened, dingy room with extra large hats. And I said, "Oh yeah, those will do." And she went, "No." And then there was another room behind this room, which was unlit and dusty, and it had one box about that big in it, and it only fit 2 hats. And I took the box from her, and I said, "How come all the other hat sizes have entire rooms dedicated to them that we've walked through, but my hat size only has one box with 2 hats in it?" And she looked at me, and this isn't a joke, she actually said to me, "We only ever get 2 of you a year." I said, "2 of me?" And she said, "Yeah, you know what I mean." I went, "This is supposed to be my special day." And she said, "Oh, but it's probably a degree in psychology or something with that forehead." And I thought, this is deeply hateful. I said, "Actually, it's poetry, I'll have you know, a proper, real degree with real implications in the world. I could potentially change the world, one small haiku at a time." And it was horrendous, and that's what happened to me. But I wanted to complain about work as well while I'm here. So I work at a place, so this is going to go on Instagram, so I work at a place that's undetermined. And a lot of the work I do is here or there as well, to be honest. I overheard somebody getting a telling off the other day. So it's one of those typical office jobs where they're very keen to please the managers. And there's a guy I worked with, and from day one, getting everybody their coffee, getting everybody their post. So when you had to print off something to send it to a customer, you have to send it to a client who might be unwell, and I don't know why we call them customers, because it's not like they can go anywhere else, to give you a clue as to what the actual nature of it is. So if he was making everybody's tea and coffee, had all these tea bags on his desk, and one day I thought, he's taking the mickey, but he got a promotion. On the first day of his promotion, I overheard him being talked to by one of the higher ups, and they said to him, "Now, we know we really like you making tea and doing the post for everyone, and we know you enjoy doing it, but there is one slight issue with it." He said, "What?" And I went, You've not put any time into doing your actual job." And that's why I find office jobs so utterly alienating, because I really don't care what people think. So I've no great desire to please the people that are being paid slightly more than me, or with the way taxes are now, the exact same as me, for doing more work, which is a bizarre situation to be in. I recently moved from 5 days a week to 3 days a week, and they said, "Why don't you move to 4 days a week?" I said, "If I was working 4 days a week, I'd be getting paid the same as if I was getting 3 days a week." And I showed them the breakdown of how the taxes work. It's not a joke, I just thought it was interesting. So essentially, if you're working 4 days a week these days in the UK, that extra day is just, you're not working you're not getting the money. Keir Starmer's getting the money. And what he's doing with it. He's not buying suits because other people buy his suits for him. £6,000 on a suit and he still looks like he just got kicked through TK Maxx. What a tremendous waste of money is that? Is there anything else to complain about? How long have I got? What would you like to complain about? And I'll complain on your behalf.
Trains?
The key
I
of
was
D flat.
thinking trains as
Key of
well.
D- I'm not that musical. I'm going to pick trains.
Good choice.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about trains this morning. In Japan, to stop people being idiots and getting too close to the edge of the platform, they have these big glass doors that slide. And the brilliant thing about that is that shows the difference between Japan and Britain quite eloquently. Because for that to work, they have to know that the train doors are going to align with the doors on the platform, which means the train has to stop at a specific point instead of skidding half a mile in the wrong direction. And then they also have to be timed, which means the train actually has to physically be there and turn up, which is another problem. And then the doors are made out of glass, which a lot of people in the UK seem to have quite an issue with. You know, bus stops don't last very long. I just really don't think glass platforms are going to work in the UK. But yeah, trains are odd. I got on a train using a PDF the other day. And I'm 33 and it made me feel like I've missed something. Like people my age, we get updates on Instagram about, oh, there's a new piece of technology, you have to learn it right now or you'll be left behind and die in the bushes. Okay, right, quick, I'll learn it really quick. But I had a friend pay for me to get to a gig, but I got sent the ticket as a PDF that I had to print out. So it felt like the good old days when I had a physical ticket, except I got to the train station and they said that's not valid. I'd spent ages fixing the printer for it, and I think this technology is not actually helping us that much, is it? Because I've got a friend, she's a fantasy writer, and she got into writing, she writes to trend. Does anybody know what writing to trend is? So whatever's popular on Amazon right now, she'll pick it up and try to write it, because she knows that's where all the money is for that month. But the issue is that people have bought it, it's a popular genre, it takes her maybe 6 weeks to write the story, by which time the crowd has moved on to something else. So then she said, right, I can make it faster, I'll get artificial intelligence to write for me. And the result of that is that her reviews on Amazon have just completely collapsed. But talking to AI, it's driving me slowly insane, it really is. Because in my job, which is undetermined and very real, though it might not be by the time I post this, I might not have it, so who cares? Nothing matters anymore. But yeah, we were talking about having AI to help us do stuff. But the most recent use I've had for AI is I got Microsoft Copilot, and the first thing I did was euthanize it. So the first question I asked it was how to disable Microsoft Autopilot, and it said, "Are you sure?" as if it was like a friend, a close friend at the end of a zombie apocalypse movie. You've got the gun to the back of their head. Like, "Are you sure? I might get better. I might be of use to you." And I'm like, "You've already bitten through 2 people's skulls. We know how this is going. We've got to go, Copilot. You're not useful." And then it just started asking me about meringues, and I thought, this is it. That's the end of the world. That's how the world's really going to end. There's not going to be a big apocalypse. We're all just going to go insane. And we'll all think everybody else has died because we'll never go outside because we're too busy trying to unlock the smart door on our house. And that is how the world will end. Yeah. Said I'd bring the mood down.
Well done.
Thank you.